Howdy, folks. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today I have for you some Outer Worlds content. I've been doing a lot of streaming and playing of the Outer Worlds. It's a very good game, and I have been coming up with different kinds of classes that would evolve different skills, different roleplay styles, elements, and things of that nature. And I figured I would take time and show them on my YouTube channel, or at least share them. I have come up with a short background and some notations of how I feel said characters would be played. So let's dive on in here, shall we? The captain was once a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. He happily served with an infantry unit until a tragic series of tragic events happened that changed that. A, a serious crisis would cause a series of planet wide riots, and the Army was called upon to deal with the riots. The captain, at the time staff sergeant, was called upon, along with his platoon, to deal with one such riot. Things would quickly spiral out of control, and his unit was ordered to fire upon among a crowd of civilians. His lieutenant would give the order, but he would not fire upon the crowd. This would tragically end a soldier's career, but his lieutenant would instead transfer him to the Hope Project, where he would use his training he received during his years of school in as an electrical technician on the ship. He would later be selected for the Hope voyage because of his background and knowledge of the Hope. He would later be placed in stasis and 70 years later would be released by Dr. Phineas Wells. The captain is of strong moral character with a code of honor. He'll do almost any job short of assassination. Some jobs consist of hauling food supplies, medical goods, and sometimes even livestock. However, he is not afraid of doing less than legal work. This, of course, puts the captain at odds with the board from time to time. But to him, it's worth the risk. He does have a crew to feed and a ship to keep running after all. Now, from time to time, his moral character has gotten in the way of a mission. Example, the captain took a job to steal some medical supplies. However, upon taking the job, he saw the people that it would affect and gave them the medical supplies instead of the buyer. Now, when it comes to social interactions, the captain is a bit of a wisecrack, but also has a silver tongue when it comes to business. He is willing to persuade someone he is doing business with, but will easily lie to a guard while intimidating a hostile. The captain is very protective of his ship and the crew. He values all of his crew for the various abilities and skills they bring to the table. He is not afraid to give orders to his crew and expects them to carry out those orders. However, he trusts and respects his crew, and in turn, his crew respects their captain. Generally speaking, his crew is like the family he never had, and the ship their home. Now, I would say with his strong moral character and various other things, he would actually side with Dr. Phineas Wells. The build is actually built around using medium armor. And as you can see here, I am using the bolter pistol for most of this footage, but I also use the shotgun, the assault rifle, and the sniper rifle. I tend to avoid melee weapons and heavy weapons as part of the build. Now I'm going to take a moment here to go over the build itself, over the statistics. So let's begin, shall we? I put 2 points in dexterity, 1 point in intelligence, and 2 points in perception, and an additional point in charm, as that helps with his commanding ability. For my specializations, let's start with the aptitude. I took construction, electrician class, wire spooler. This gives me a damage reduction against shock damage. And for my specializations, I took ranged and dialogue because of the business manner of the character. However, that being said, you could easily swap dialogue for leadership. Now, I focus primarily on handguns, inspiration, and determination. But also, I did work on his persuasion, lie, and intimidate as a secondary skill set. His sneak, hack, and lockpicking and medical also as a secondary skill set. Now, I primarily focused on handguns, but I also did put skill points in long guns. As I said, I also used the assault rifle as well as the shotgun and even the sniper. Sorry, I think it's actually called the hunting rifle, but the scoped bolt action sniper rifle from time to time for when I can get really long range engagement shots. But generally speaking, I fight in close quarter and use my pistol. Now, I took points in inspiration and determination to help buff the crew, and basically everything is also combat wise is more or less built around using the crew during combat, and that's what we're going to show off here now, which is my suggested and recommended perks. As recommended perks, I recommend Precision, which gives a plus 15% critical chance, companion critical chance, allowing them to do criticals more often. Suggested Tier 1, which are the ones in yellow. I suggest Toughness for the additional hit points, Pack Mule for the additional carry weight, and Resilience for the additional armor. As I said, this character was built with the mindset of medium armor, so I'm not going to get that nice heavy armor protection. However, that also prevents me from taking skill penalties from wearing heavy armor. At tier 2, I would suggest Harvester, which gives a plus 15 hit points restored with each kill. Once again, this has to do with wearing medium armor. As recommended, I recommend Rolling Thunder, which gives a 20% chance of cooldown reset for the character's kills. That would be my kills. Tag Team, which gives a 25% chance of cooldown reset when using special attacks from other companions. And We Band of Brothers, which gives a 25% chance of cooldown special attack with critical hits. And basically what this lets me do is basically sometimes when I go into combat, I can practically chain the companion special attacks nonstop. Earlier this evening, I actually pulled out 7 companion special attacks in a row without actually firing a shot. And when it was said and over with, there was like one enemy left with only a few hit points, and I didn't even have to shoot him because one of my companions did. So everything is built around, at tier 2, everything is built around commanding your crew members. At tier 3, I recommend Don't Go Dine on Me, which allows you to revive any downed companion after using an inhaler heal. Now it's got a 15-minute cooldown, but it'll actually, if both companions are down, it'll revive them both. Once again, it's to keep the companions in the fight longer and be able to give more orders for special attacks. The other one I would say is required is also Penetrating Shot, which gives -1 AR for 10 seconds up to a maximum of 10 with ranged attacks. But so there you go, folks. The rest of it's pretty well up to you. There is other perks I could probably recommend, but mostly they're just quality of life things. I forgot. I missed one. Confidence. Next attack. This was the suggested. Next attack is a critical hit, guaranteed critical hit after a kill. Obviously, if you're primarily using the pistol, pistols don't necessarily do the most damage. Although the Bolter Pistol 2.0 has been actually doing very well for me with the actual high damage that it puts out because I tinkered with it, and the burst fire that it gives. But anyway, folks, that was the captain. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to give a like, give some feedback if you have any, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my um, Outer Worlds builds. Thank you very much again for watching, and have yourself a great day.